Married with Children. The TV series that aired on Fox was a massive hit during its time for several reasons. This program, which ran from 1987 to 1997, stood out with its unconventional humor and characters. The show followed the dysfunctional Bundy family, led by the crude yet endearing Al Bundy, played by Ed O'Neill. Its irrelevant and often controversial humor resonated with viewers looking for something different from the typical family sitcoms of the era. It left a lasting impression on pop culture and is fondly remembered as a classic of its time. Let us now show you some interesting facts with you regarding this TV soap. Today, we're excited to share with you some fascinating facts that you may not have come across before. But before we begin, please remember to press the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and show your support by liking and sharing the video. Having said that, let's start. Working title for the program. Marcy Darcy, who was Peggy Bundy's friend and neighbor on the TV show Married with Children, got her name from someone important behind the scenes of another show called The Cosby Show. You might be curious why this happened. It all goes back to when Married with Children was being made, even before it was on TV. They were originally called the show Not the Cosbys, so Marcy's name kind of holds a tiny bit of TV history because it connects another popular show from that time. Any link with National Lampoon. At the very beginning of the show, there's a scene where you see cars driving on a big road where multiple roads come together. Surprisingly, the video is taken from a movie called National Lampoon's Vacation. In this movie, you can spot the Griswold family's car, a Ford Crown Victoria station wagon, on this short scene. Additionally, Al's impressive Dodge car in the show is not a Dodge, it's a 1972 Plymouth Duster. Now, kindly pay attention to something serious. On May 6, 1997, the final episode of a TV show aired, and the people in charge at Fox weren't sure if they would stop making more episodes. Eventually, they decided to do just that, but they didn't immediately tell the actors on the show. While Ed O'Neill, one of the actors, was on vacation, he happened to hear a conversation at a nearby table where two people were talking about the show being canceled. Surprisingly, he paid for their meal and thanked them for informing him about the decision. It didn't happen overnight. This TV show wasn't very popular on Fox at first, but something unexpected happened. In one episode that changed the scenario, a lady named Terry Ricolta got upset and asked advertisers to stop supporting the show. Some companies did, but this got the show a lot of attention in the news and more people started watching it, making it a big hit. Bouffant of Peggy. Katie Sagal came up with the idea for Penny's unique style. When she went for her audition, she brought her own red bouffant wig. The people in charge of the show liked it so much that they decided to change the way Peggy's character looked. This means that the way Peggy dressed and styled herself was Katie Sagal's idea, and it made her character even more interesting. The initial choice wasn't Ed O'Neill. At first, the people in charge of the TV show didn't think Ed O'Neill was the best fit for the role of Al Bundy. They were worried because he usually acted in serious plays and movies. However, when Ed O'Neill came in for an audition, things changed. During the audition, he was only supposed to walk into the Bundy family's house, but as he walked through the door, he let out a big sigh and looked tired and defeated. That's when the people making the show realized that Ed O'Neill got the character of Al Bundy. When reality and fiction come together. In the year 2011, a cool thing happened for Ed O'Neill. He got his special star on the famous Hollywood Walk of Fame. Furthermore, they put his star right in front of a shoe store. Why? Well, because Ed O'Neill played a grumpy guy who sold women's shoes on a TV show called Married with Children. And before the show ended, Ed was making a jaw-dropping $500,000 for each episode he did. That's a ton of money, and it made him one of the richest actors on TV back then. So basically, Ed O'Neill went from selling shoes on TV to having a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Quite a journey, right? Issues on the set. In a talk in 2013, Ed O'Neill talked about how he and Amanda Bearse, who played Marcy Darcy on their TV show, didn't get along. The issue started during the third season when O'Neill noticed that Bearse was becoming more assertive and sarcastic. Back in 1993, O'Neill had supported Bearse when she came out as a lesbian. However, something happened in 2010. Bearse didn't invite O'Neill and David Faustino to her wedding. She was worried that they might make fun of two women wearing tuxedos. Later on, O'Neill admitted that he might have actually done just that. The departure of David Garrison. Actor David Garrison, who portrayed neighbor Steve Rhodes, decided to say goodbye to the show because he longed for the excitement of live theater. The show's creators came up with a believable story where Steve and Marcy's relationship drifted apart, and he made occasional appearances in one episode each season for a few years, always returning with a new job. When Garrison left the show, he even took a memorable photo of himself from season 4, specifically from the episode titled At the Zoo. A really amazing character, though. Recasting of Bud and Kelly. In the early stages of Hollywood's beloved TV series Married with Children, Christina Applegate and David Faustino weren't the first choices to portray the iconic characters Kelly and Bud Bundy. In fact, the pilot episode that never made it to television screens, these roles were initially brought to life by Tina Caspary and Hunter Carson. Surprisingly, neither Caspary nor Carson achieved significant success in the entertainment industry despite their promising start on the show. Actual parody. Ed O'Neill and David Faustino, the actors from the show, shared that the series took inspiration from certain parts of their own lives. O'Neill used to play college football in real life, while Faustino had dreams of becoming a rapper. This interesting tidbit of information sparked the creative minds of the show's producers, leading them to craft Faustino's character, Grandmaster B, as a reflection of his real-life aspirations. Unreported pregnancy. Katey Sagal, the actress from the show, experienced 3 pregnancies over more than 10 years when the show was on TV. The first pregnancy happened in season 6 of the show, and the writers incorporated it into the storyline. Unfortunately, this pregnancy storyline had to be removed from the show when Katey Sagal suffered a miscarriage. Her second and third pregnancies occurred during season 8 or 9 and 10, but the production team decided to keep these pregnancies a secret from the viewers so they were not a part of the on-screen storylines. The episode that was off the track. The episode titled I'll See You in Court was originally intended to be the 8th episode of the 3rd season, with a scheduled air date of February 19, 1989. However, something unusual happened. This particular episode never made it to the television screens at the time and earned the nickname The Lost Episode. It remained hidden from viewers until it was finally officially broadcast in the United States in the year 2002. Why the delay, you may ask? Well, the episode contained a storyline in which the Bundys and the Rhodes were unintentionally recorded on a motel sex tape, which made it quite controversial and led to its delayed release. What about Seven? Fans of the show may recall a character named Seven, who was the son of Peggy's relatives Zumas and Ida Mae Winker. However, Steven vanished under mysterious circumstances, and as the show progressed to its 8th season, Seven's absence was frequently hinted at, though in cryptic manner. In one episode, Al attempts to share sports trivia with Kelly, but she completely forgets that both Buck the dog and Seven never existed. In another episode of the 8th season, a picture of Seven appears on the side of a milk carton, labeled as missing. Roseanne Barr was almost cast in the program. Just like how Sam Kinison was almost going to be Al Bundy, the creators really wanted Roseanne Barr to play Peggy Bundy at first. But in the end, they both said no because they had other TV and movie projects they wanted to work on. Declining standard. In the later seasons of the TV show Married with Children, there was a noticeable change in the way Katey Sagal's wig looked. You see, Katey Sagal, who played the character Peggy Bundy, would wear a red wig as a part of her character's signature style. However, as the show went on, it became apparent that the quality of these wigs was not as good as it used to be. People started noticing that her natural brunette hair was becoming visible through the red wig, kind of like it was poking out. Now, some fans of the show saw this change in Katey Sagal's wig as a symbol of what they believed was a decline in the overall quality of the series. This decline, they thought, happened in the later seasons, specifically 9 to 11. In other words, they thought that the show wasn't as good as it used to be, and Katey Sagal's wigs were just one small sign of their larger problem. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell, because trust me, you don't want to miss out on the exciting content that's just around the corner. This is your host signing off, wishing you all an awesome day. Stay tuned.